Welcome back. Just a quick video to show teachers how to use Class Dojo, which is normally for behavior tracking or behavior management, but how to use Class Dojo to track accommodations for your students. And so the first thing you're going to want to do is create your class, and it'll prompt you to do that once you sign into Class Dojo. Once you get into your class, you can click on the options menu. It gives you a lot of options here. One of the things that I like to do is if I have a co-teacher or a teacher that I'm working with, or even an administrator, ESE specialist, um, anybody that I want to share this data with within the school, I can go ahead and click that and then add their email address, and it will invite them to be a co-teacher in the class, and they'll be able to view the data, run the reports, and see what's going on. But in that same menu, you're going to want to click Edit Class. Go to your info. You can change the picture, title, or give your class a name, a grade level. Then you can add students from this menu. You can also add it from the main screen as well. You click here, add your student's name. I like to add all of my students. It allows me to compare data, not just for my students that have plans, but for all of my students together. It allows me to see what I'm using for UDL. So it gives me a lot of comparative data that is informative and useful. So once you add a student or add all your students, you're not going to want to invite families. And so once you add a student or add your students and click save, it'll prompt you to invite families, put their email addresses or phone numbers in. You're not going to want to do that. One, because this is your accommodations tracking. Two, because this is probably outside of your school or your district's purview, meaning that it's communication that they can't keep an eye on. So you're not going to want to use this for communication at all with the students or with the parents. Under the skills menu, you can see down at the bottom, you've got the same thing. It asks you again what you'd like to share. You want to share no points. But you can add some of the accommodations here on these screens. And I put accommodation not used, or to signify that the student did not want the accommodation over in needs work. But this, again, this is for behavior. So positive and needs work is irrelevant to what you're trying to do. But you can see that I also added some common accommodations for my students here on this page. And that allows me, as class is going on, to click on a student. And let's say I offered Josephine some positive reinforcement. I can click on that there, and it will note that I gave her some reinforcement. If I also, let's say I gave the whole class repeated directions, then I can click on whole class there. And if, let's say, let's use another student here. Let's say Joe decides he doesn't want to use his accommodation. We can click that there, but then we can also add a note up here, and we can label the accommodation that he didn't use, or we can give a reason, or whatever you want to do. But you can add an anecdotal record there that shows why or what, and also what Joseph didn't use or Joe didn't use for his accommodation. Then when you get to the end, or when you want to generate a report, or you want to share this data, or you just want to compare the data for your own purposes, you can come over to that options menu in the top right, click on view reports. It's going to generate a nice whole class report you can see up here. But then you can also click on each student individually, and it will generate a report on the student and also some descriptions of what happened down below. And then that will allow you to track your accommodations quickly and easily